this is probably the worst setup anyone's ever had for filming a YouTube video. I'm on a beanbag, which is suboptimal. Are we here? Is this it? Hi everyone, my name is Shay. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you the books that I read in February. I actually read a lot this month. I have not been reading in about 3 years regularly. Last year I reread the Percy Jackson series, Harry Potter, and Heroes of Olympus series. And the past month I've really gotten back into reading. I actually listened to 4 audiobooks this month, and I read 5 other books. So yeah, let's get started. I'll show you what I read and give you some recommendations maybe. This is actually the first book I read. So this book is it's a self-help book. I normally don't read non-fiction books, but a lot of the reviews said that this is sort of like aimed towards white frat guys, and I can definitely see the author writes sort of like you would write, I guess, to like a dude. It's very dude bro-y, but a lot of the things in this book were things that I really needed to hear. I actually read it in January. It's the only book I read in January. I really needed to hear a lot of the things that he talked about. I'm not sure if this entire book is for everyone, but for me, it brought up a lot of things that I hadn't even been thinking about. I had been dealing with feeling really guilty about my emotions and sort of focusing so much on feeling negative emotions and feeling upset that I am having negative emotions that I wasn't able to get over it. And this book sort of made me realize that that's a part of being human, and you are going to feel negative emotions in order to feel happy emotions. It was sort of like a therapy experience for me. I made more progress with this book than I have in therapy in the past 4 months. But I'll read you a little quote from it. "The desire for a more positive experience is itself a negative experience, and paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is in itself a positive experience." There's just a lot of stuff in this book that really helped me to think about and sort of helped me sort a lot of stuff out in my brain. So I do recommend it. I will warn you, it has a lot of foul language. So if that's not something you're into, you might not want to read it, but I really enjoyed it. The next book I read is actually The Cruel Prince. I listened to it on the audiobook. If y'all have read this book but you have not listened to the audiobook, I totally recommend it. Everyone on BookTube has read The Cruel Prince, I feel like. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought the plot twists were fun. It was super cute and fun. I gave it 5 stars. And I'm actually reading The Wicked King right now. It's been like a month since I read The Cruel Prince. So the next 2 books I also listened to on audio. So I listened to From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And I listened to A Court of Thorns and Roses. So from Blood and Ash, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was I've never read adult romance. That's the first adult romance I've ever read, or new adult, whatever it is. Some parts of it were quite shocking to me personally. But I personally gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think I might have enjoyed it less if I had read it in the physical form, because I have read Kingdom Flesh and Fire in physical, and I gave that 4 stars because it felt slow. So I'm sure From Blood and Ash felt slow in the physical form as well, but I did not read it that way. So I really liked it. I also like listening to audiobooks a lot because I can do other stuff, and I have an attention span of like a fly. A Court of Thorns and Roses is extremely hyped up and talked about. I did not like this book. I thought that this book was, I felt weird the whole time. It felt like a fever dream. I liked towards the end, I think it got a lot better, but I was just like, the whole time I was like, I don't even like Feyre and her weird thing that's going on with the love interest. I was not having it. I gave this book 3 stars, but I also listened to A Court of Mist and Fury on audiobook, and I did give that one 5 stars. I enjoyed it a lot more. Did it have its faults? Yes. Was it the best book ever? No, but it was very entertaining. I will give it that. The next physical book that I read in February is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Kristoff. We love a duo. I love this paperback. It's so floppy and matte and nice feeling. I really enjoyed this book. I've never really read sci-fi unless dystopian novels from 2014 are categorized as sci-fi, but I love space movies. I'm in love with outer space. Anything with outer space or pirates, I will enjoy it. Outer space pirates kind of feels like this, so I really like it. I did have a couple problems with this book. I gave it 4 stars. I liked how quickly it moved. A lot of the characters in this book are... One of the characters in this book is really funny. I enjoy him. I enjoy everything that comes out of his mouth. Some of the other characters felt like they were written to where they were sort of like tryhards. And the slang was a little bit weird. I get that it's like 350 years in the future, but also it was kind of weird to read. I felt like I was reading like they were trying so hard to be like hip and cool. It felt a little bit weird. But besides that, I really liked it. The plot at the end, I have like a weird fear of like skin. Things happening to my skin, growing, I don't know. I have very bad trypophobia. And sort of like the monster that is revealed in this book did sort of trigger that for me. So I will just let you know if you are scared of trypophobia things in that area, be warned. Towards the end of the book, it will get a little bit graphic in that sense. It's nothing like terrible, but I'm just gonna tell you, I do not like things growing on humans, and that happens in this book. I hate it, but I still enjoyed it enough to give it 4 stars. And I also have Aurora Burning that I'm going to read soon. Also, I have that in the hardback, and I kind of wish I had it in this paperback, because this is my favorite paperback I own. It's so nice. It's so pretty. The next book I read is the first book in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan. This is The Hidden Oracle, and I mean, okay, so I'm extremely biased for anything that Rick Riordan writes or has Percy Jackson in it. I gave this book 4 stars just because it was like the first book in a series. And it did sort of like, I was kind of confused with where the plot was going. There were a couple things that I like wished were different, but I had fun reading it and it was funny. I think that this series is like, I really love being in Apollo's like head. And I think it adds a lot to the series to like see the world sort of from like a god's perspective and learn more about that. So I thought it was really fun, and I have other ones that I'm going to read. Yes, I enjoyed it. Meg's a great character. I like that there's sort of like a familial bond between Meg and Apollo. It's sort of like a big brother, little sister thing, which I like because a lot of times I feel like when there's a guy and a girl lead, they like end up dating, but obviously they're not going to because she's like 12 and he's like 18 or however old he is. I don't know, 16, 15, whatever. But yeah, I liked it. Okay. So this is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in the From Blood and Ash series. And I have it in hardcover. Was this a mistake? Maybe. It's giant. It's so, it's so big. I have so many tabs on this thing. I also started tabbing my books like midway through the month. And the font in this book is so small. I'm not used to reading like adult novels. Is that an adult novel thing? Probably. I really love the characters in this book. I love them so much. But this book, the main plot is that they're moving from one point to another point. That's the entire plot. They're like traveling, trying to get to someplace. And so I just kind of felt tired of books where the whole plot is trying to get somewhere, because in the Trials of Apollo book, the whole plot is they're trying to get somewhere. And in The Torch Against the Night, which I also read this month, the whole plot is they're trying to get somewhere. And so I was kind of tired of books where it's just like traveling across a giant continent to get to some place. I was sort of like, we've done this. I've done this before. I want something new. I love the characters in this book. Hawk and Poppy are great. I enjoy that neither one of them they're not really good people, but you still care about them and care for them. I sort of see Poppy in myself and Poppy a little bit. I don't know not a lot, but just a little bit. And I kind of liked being in her head and hearing like her thought process for things. I enjoyed it. If it wasn't so long, I would give it 5 stars, but it was just so long. It took me 20 days to read this book. Yeah, I just had to like sit down one night and be like, I'm going to finish this no matter how long it takes, and read 200 pages to finish the book. And I did that, and it just took forever, but I did it. Also, if you are planning on buying the hardcover copy, you can only get it at Barnes & Noble. And there's no thing on the spine or on this. It's just blank, which I thought was kind of lame, honestly. It's very pretty, but like, could have done something. Alright, the second to last book I read this month is An Ember in the Ashes. I bought this one morning when I was at Barnes & Noble because I had some cash, and I like spending cash because it doesn't feel like real money to me. And I got the like Barnes & Noble exclusive edition because I was sucked in by it being really pretty and being signed, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read this book, it looks cool. And I finished it the same day, which I feel like says something about it. I think this book's from like 2015. It was pretty hyped up back then, but I wasn't really reading a lot of books like this in 2015. I did some tab. I honestly was forgetting to put tabs because I was reading this so fast. Same with Torch Against the Night, which I also read this month. I read both of them. I literally only have 3 tabs on this because I read it so quickly. I forgot that I was supposed to be doing that. This book is, I haven't even told y'all what these books are about, and I'm just assuming you know what they're about. Which you probably do, because like everyone's talked about these books. This book is about a girl, Laya, who her brother is taken from her, and she has to become a slave at a military institution and she's a spy, and she's trying to like get spy information for like this resistance group. This is a horrible explanation for this. And then there's a guy who is a mask, which is sort of like it's based on like I almost said old Rome. It's based on like Roman culture, so if you don't know a lot about Roman culture, they're very like clean cut, super brutal and intense. And so they're sort of like gladiators almost, I don't know. And their fates are intertwined. I think some of the complaints that I've heard about it is that it has no descriptions and then it just moves so quickly, and that's why I liked it so much. Both of these books read like Percy Jackson and Harry Potter did for me. They just move really quickly and I cannot focus for long, like I said earlier, so it's hard for me to get through books that have a lot of description and a lot of sort of like in the head sort of fluff stuff, which there is not a lot of, if any, in here, which I liked, which some people might not like, but I enjoyed it personally. It was a fun change of pace from the stuff that I had been reading. I gave both of them 5 stars. This book frustrated me more so than the other one, just because, like I said, they were traveling the whole time, but the plot twist at the end, I mean, I did see it coming, but not exactly what it was. The way the plot went, I really liked it, and that sort of like redeemed the book for me, and I gave it 5 stars. I didn't really read any books this month that I like hated, which is obviously good. I didn't love A Court of Thorns and Roses. I will probably read it because I ordered the Illumicrate like special edition of A Court of Silver Flames because I want to read the whole series. And it has all those pretty covers in it. I'm so excited to get them. So I'm going to get all of them in hardcover to put the covers on them that I bought. And so I will reread it once more, and then I will never read that book again because it's weird. It's a weird book. I just felt weird the whole time. I don't know. And yeah, that's everything I read this month. This is the first video I've ever made about books. Let me know if you like it. I'm sure I'm only gonna get like 10 views on this, but if you're here, hey, you can subscribe to my channel if you want to. I might post another video. I know I'm gonna go to the bookshop in my city soon and film that to post. So you can like this and comment, let me know if you want to see anything. I can give you a tour of my K-pop shelves. I've got these, and I've got some over there. I can give you a tour of those. I have like 20 books, so I can't really give you a tour of my books unless you want to see like 20 of them. Or I could give you like a room tour. Just let me know what you want to see. Do a little makeup, some fashion videos, let me know. I'm gonna stop recording this now because my legs are on fire because I've been sitting in a squat this whole time. But thank y'all so much for watching. I had really a lot of fun making this, and hopefully I can make more videos like this in the future. So yeah, bye. I just want y'all to see the setup. This is where we're on a beanbag. And then we had this going on. Yeah, gotta give you the behind the scenes. Let me know if you want a tour. I'm gonna do it anyway.